Hello everyone, thank you for joining me here on this another episode of Vegan Police TV. In this episode I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on why I believe Charles the Vegan Cheetah has gone too far and that he will continue to go as far as he can, probably pushing, with his rise of maybe even going too far where he just starts alienating everyone and has that huge drop-off. So one thing before I get into it, I want to let everyone know that whilst I have said in the past that I don't agree with bad language on videos, on clips and this sort of stuff doesn't really have a place, letting you know that in this episode I will be using some bad language. So if you're a bit worried about that or you got kiddies around, please plug the headphones in or just go through show notes or just have send me a message and I'll let you know what it is. So that being said, let's get on with it. First thing first, with Charles. Now, one thing that he said in a previous clip where he's been talking about Harley and Leanne, or Harley and or Leanne, or one of the two, was that you can't bullshit a bullshitter. So this is the thing. If he's a bullshitter himself, how much of what he says does he actually believe? Is it all bullshit? That's the thing. So with his drama channel, he will say anything to get views. He will turn on anyone to get views. He will expose anyone to get views, to get people watching it. Look at the rubbish that he's done today with Azul Mazard. That is severely inappropriate. There is no place for that on YouTube. There is no place airing people's dirty laundry that has happened in private out on YouTube. The Derek Mojo dick pic things, that was inappropriate. He crossed the line with that one. The use of continually otherizing Raw Till 4 people as dick riders or clit riders or whatever else he wants to call them, that is only done to otherize the people. So this is the thing for myself and a large number of other people, is that veganism is a social justice movement, and if you're otherizing a group of people, you're oppressing them. So that's the only reason that the language is used. You're using that language to oppress that group of people. This is unacceptable. This is not acceptable in this social justice movement that is vegan. And would like to say that, as I said previously, is that all the people that watch the drama channels, we're the ones that are continuing his rise. We are the ones that are feeding him. This is the thing. Charles is using this as an income source. He's using this to create a profession or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you call it a profession or a, pardon me, to earn an income from it. It is not acceptable. Yeah, it may be fine for the fitness industry or whatever other group of people that he was in the past. It's not acceptable for veganism as a social justice movement. So how have we got to where we are? Well, I think that, with hindsight, benefit of 2020 hindsight, that his recent time out in the naughty corner in YouTube for alleged copyright violations, that caused a spike in his subscribers and viewers. So, and then with other people picking it up on as well, people have gone back to him thinking, oh yes, hey, here's someone who's telling the truth and speaking it like it is, and he's trying to be shut down by other people. Well, he's just creating drama. So that, I think that, if it was Harley and Leanne and any of those other people that did it, well, they, hopefully with the benefit of hindsight, that they realized that that was an inappropriate thing to do. They shouldn't have done that, because that caused him to spike in viewers again, where he's not mature enough to handle it. So as we've seen by, as I said, the Derek Vegan Mojo picture scandal with what he's doing to Azul Mazard now, and this is the thing. I mean, I know Azul did a clip a while ago speaking out about Charles with his Vegan Mojo thing. So is this what happens to people that speak up against Charles? Do they become the target of another scandal themselves? This guy, he says he has boundaries, which is, what is it? Family's off limits. And, he won't wish harm on anyone and all that sort of stuff. Well, yes, that is what a normal human being, a normal, rational human being, decent human being would have, saying, hey, yes, family's off limit. And as I've said previously in previous videos, that is what has got my back up with the local Brisbane vegan community, because my family and friends were not off limits. The local community here decided to attack my family and friends to get to me. Now, that was unacceptable. So it's the thing. Other human beings would have the decency not to talk about stuff that happens behind closed doors. What happens between consenting adults is no one else's business apart from those consenting adults, nor should it be anyone else's business. So yes, and that's the thing. With what we're seeing now, Charles, with his attitude, with what he's saying, and his lack of accountability. Now, he's claiming that, hey, if he says something, he'll take responsibility for it. No, he won't. You know, a number of people have made comments about him, you know, going to, you know, having the you know, vegan mojo scandal. Well, he reckons that he's not, because other people have talked about a different situation. Well, in that other situation, one of the parties involved mentioned it. So, yeah, you know, pass comment on that. Whereas with the Derek situation, as far as I'm aware, no one mentioned it before. I think, what was it? It came out on a You Now clip by Blue Wren or Feed or whatever it is. And then he's picked it up and run with it and gone from there. So this is the thing. It's not acceptable. You know, he's no better than Leanne or Harley. You know, they all think that they can do no wrong. They all believe that you either have to follow blindly everything that they say, or you're 100% against them, and there's no accountability. This is the thing. Now, talking about accountability, he's, you know, I believe that he needs to be held accountable for what he's doing now, and who's going to do it? I don't know. I mean, you know, hey, I'd love to have a crack at him. I believe that that is unacceptable, that what he's doing. And for those of us who are vegan for social justice reasons, not this airy-fairy mambo jumbo friggin' diet BS and all that sort of stuff, need to hold Charles accountable for what he's doing. And, you know, and it's the thing, you know, will he have a crack at me? Who knows? You know, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of my negative fans out there who would gladly, you know, make up some gossip, as they have done in the past for that. So this is the thing, is that he's unacceptable. And not only do I hold Leanne and Harley responsible for this, I also hold Jeff Nelson responsible for this as well. I believe that with Jeff promoting Charles as a special guest at his up-and-coming health conference, Expo, whatever it is, that Jeff needs to be you know, accountable for some of it. And either Jeff draws a line in the sand and says, no, Charles, you've gone too far, or just says, no, we can't touch you anymore. That's it. Something needs to be done. So there's a story, there's a couple of conspiracy theories going around that there's some backroom deal or behind closed door deal done with Jeff and Charles. Now, Charles won't talk about it because, hey, he reckons he's the, you know, the truth seeker, truth talker, whatever else. He won't talk about it, which, you know, that's fine. Jeff's turned around and hasn't exactly denied it. He hasn't exactly admitted it as well. He's sort of been very, very vague in what he said. So the thing that you have to look at is that since he's come back from his YouTube timeout, he's no longer talking about Harley. Now, the claim is that he wants to make Harley irrelevant. Well, you can't make someone like Harley irrelevant to veganism if that was by not talking about him. So if that was the case, then Gary Francione would have been made irrelevant years ago, because there was quite a period of time where a lot of us were refusing to talk about him. Tobias Leanhart, the misnomed vegan strategist, would be irrelevant because, you know, there was a lot of us that refused to talk about him because we weren't going to give the vile message that they spread. We weren't going to give that airtime. Since that period in time, you know, both people are sort of coming out. And this is the other thing too. If you have a look at the tactics that they use, Tobias, Gary Francione, Leanne and Harley, and even to a certain extent Charles, they all use the same tactics. They otherize people with language. They otherize people with the names that they call. Tobias does it by calling people dogmatic and purist vegans, or even the vegan police. Gary Francione does it by calling, you know, saying someone's just a new welfarist, or they're suffering from moral schizophrenia, or using other ableist terms. Harley and Leanne do it with their cyberbullying and everything like that. Charles is doing the same thing now. And as I mentioned, the words that he uses and the language that he uses and the encouragement that he says when he, at the bottom of his videos, he says, hey, yeah, you know, this is free speech. You can say whatever you want. Just don't take it over to someone else's channel. Well, he's doing that now on his channel because he knows that, hey, you know, Joe Smith called, you know, Peter Phillips or you know, some other YouTube person called him XYZ. So then person whatever sees it and comes back and says, oh, or someone else sees it. So that it gets more traffic to his channel and to the videos. And as I've said, freedom of speech goes so far. You know, you can set boundaries. You can say, listen, guys, you can say whatever you want as long as you abide by these terms. It's not you're blocking free speech, because if you want to call someone, you know, say someone's hypocritical and whatever else, you can do it without calling them names. You can do it without calling them a dick rider, a member of the Raw Till 4 cult. You can do them without calling them clip riders. You can do it without using ableist language. You can do it without, you know, calling someone beaver boy or whatever else. You can do it with that. And the fact that Charles lets all this shit go, you know, seriously, it just makes me wonder that if this is the new breed of veganism and the new, you know, the new guard that are coming through, seriously, I think we're all screwed. So yes, and this is the thing, having a look at here before I fly off on another tangent again. I believe, as I think I started before, Jeff Nelson has a lot to answer for this, for Jeff promoting Charles as a YouTube actor, you know, a comedian or entertainer or whatever it is. Yes, Charles is an entertainer on YouTube. It's easy to talk to a camera and engage with the camera there. Talking to a live audience is completely different. It is a hard, huge task to do. I've done that in the vegan scene. I've done that in my professional life. And talking and engaging with a live audience when you're talking about something that I understand they're interested in is a challenge at times as well. To talk about something when you're, you know, when people are giving you the impression that you're a comedian and you're going to do some little stand-up routine or whatever else that you're going to do to engage in the audience, you know, that is a huge task. If he can do it, hey, you know, good for him, full marks to him. But this is the thing, he's not an entertainer. How much are these people that are actually going to see this to learn from all these esteemed, you know, leaders of their field, you know, Dr. Barnard, and sorry, all the other doctors whose names escapes me at the moment because I didn't scribble that down. The people that go to see them, and the other thing too, are these people themselves going to want to be associated with Charles? Because don't forget, Charles going to this thing can have a negative effect, a negative impact on that, because by these people going to the same event that Charles is going to, they're basically saying, hey, yes, you know, we agree with what Charles is doing. We condone what his behavior is. There was a rumor going around that, where was it? Cleveland? I think Cleveland Veg Fest or something like that, that a number of people pulled out because Francioni's turning up. Whether that rumor is not going ahead or not, I do believe that one person did pull out because they were doing that in protest of Francione. How many people are going to pull out in protest of, you know, Charles being there? And this is the other thing too. Remember, Jeff has given that little disc, you know, that little asterisk at the top to say, hey, yeah, you know, the final numbers may vary, or the final speaker availability may, you know, change or whatever else. So this is the thing. I do hold Jeff responsible for this. So anything else that comes on, I think Jeff has a lot to answer for that. Derek being brought into that, I know, you know, Jeff's done this little thing. Hey, you know, my son's done this. Well, you know, whatever. It is not appropriate for veganism. It is not appropriate because remember, whilst the wider community don't take veganism seriously and think veganism is just a diet, which is evidenced by, if you have a look at the ads that you see on the when you have a look at the ones that you have monetized their YouTube footage, you'll see meat ads, you'll see light and easy ads, you'll see Jenny Craig ads, and I've seen it, you know, in the past, all the ads. And this is the thing, these are targeted to viewers of these channels because to a majority of the people, veganism is just a diet. So then they think, hey, we can change that. There was a clip about one of the Paralympians from Australia, the Australian Paralympians going through the process of, you know, from the unfortunate accident they had when they were a child all the way through to making the Paralympics. And it was the beef industry. I think it was MLA or something sponsored it and said, you know, you always go better on beef. Seriously. You know, like, really, this is the thing. And this crap needs to stop. We need to stop viewing veganism as a diet. So I'll stop that there because I can feel myself going off on another tangent here. So being mindful of the time now, over 15 minutes, I didn't want to waffle for this long. So yes, this is the thing. Jeff has a lot to answer for. I can't imagine Aizal Mazard taking Charles's recent clip lying down. Is this going to start a flame war? I think people need to stand up now and say, no, we've had enough, Charles, you've overstepped the line. If the people aren't game enough to stand up and say you've overstepped the line, then they are scared that they're going to be Charles's next target. And this is unacceptable. If someone's scared of speaking up about your inappropriate behavior or wanting to hold, you know, you need to be held accountable for it. So this is the thing, is that, you know, it's not something, you know, or talk about free speech. Well, hey, if I've criticized you and I've said, all right, hey, what you've done is appropriate, what you've said is inappropriate, I shouldn't then become a target for your slander campaign, your smear campaign, your whatever is. Yeah, I know, you know, you get away with it saying, oh, it's not slander because it's all speculation. Well, there's that old saying, if you throw enough mud at the wall, something's bound to stick. So, you know, whether it's mud, whether it's not, or whether you make the whole lot up, someone at one point down the track, people are going to believe that and think, oh yes, hey, that's right, oh my God, you know, do you remember hearing about this? Well, that's the thing, play your game, Charles. You're going to start losing viewers because people are going to wise up and know that they could become a target themselves as well. Anyone that is actually putting themselves out there can become a target for your scandals. That is unacceptable. Yes, I know we all love gossip, we all love drama. Myself personally, no, I was a subscriber to Charles's channels earlier on. I did send him a couple of messages about things, more to build up a relationship, to start communication and to build up some sort of relationship with him where I could actually question, you know, encourage him to use different language. Never responded to anyone, so that's fine. You know, I'm not having a cry about that, but it's the thing is that, you know, I've unsubscribed. I did watch a couple of his clips. That was more for information for this clip that I've done now. Not watching it anymore, have no interest in it. You've overstepped the line. If I want drama, you know, I'll go back to high school or I'll go back to primary school. We're all mature adults out here. We shouldn't have to deal with this crap that's on YouTube now. And whatever. So, anyway, that's about my rant now. Before I start ranting, it becomes another half-hour clip. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe. If I can remember, there will be a link to the mailing list, the email list that will go out every morning, Australian Brisbane time, with the clips that have come out for the previous day. So I'm planning on doing a couple throughout a day as well. That is more just to get it, make sure that people are aware of it, because I really don't care about subscribers. For me, this is just about putting information out and educating people on things. There will be a link. It's just a MailChimp thing. Just add your email address. You won't get any spam. So all that from me, all you get is email. You can unsubscribe at any time. So yes, there's that. So what else? Thanks for watching, and look forward to having you join me on the next episode of Vegan Please TV. Bye for now.